In this lesson, we're going to solve equations with a fraction. So this is our concentration. Fraction on one side of the equal sign. So we have 1/2 x plus 4 equals 7. We have a fraction here, 1/2. I want you to look at this denominator right here. That denominator is a 2. You should always look at the denominator. This denominator is 3. This denominator is 4. And this denominator is 5. Always look for the denominator. So we have a denominator. It is 2. So I want you multiplying this entire side of the equal sign times 2. But if you do it to one side, remember it's balanced. You have to multiply the entire side by 2. So remember that when you multiply an entire side, you're not just multiplying by half, you're multiplying by 4. So you can either turn this half into a decimal and then multiply, or you can just, 2 times half will give you, if you need it, 2 times 1 is 2, 1 times 2 is 2x. And 2 times 4 will give me 8. So a positive times positive is a positive. And don't forget this side. Most people forget this side. Don't forget the side. Don't forget the right side. 7 times 2 is 14. Now, before I start finding out what x is, I need to reduce. So 2 divided by 2 is going to give me 1x. So 1x plus 8 equals 14. So I took x, multiplied it by 1, which doesn't matter, and I added at 8. And I got 14. Inverse operations, minus 8. Minus 8. So at 1x, which is just x, equals 14 minus 8 is 6. I'm not going to do the 1 because we know it's just 1x is always there, right? Once again, example number 2, we are going to look at the denominator, bottom of the fraction. So bottom of the fraction is 3, so I'm going to multiply by 3. Both sides of the equal sign by 3. So 3 times, times a fraction, I need to do this. So positive times a negative is a negative. 3 times 2 is 6. 1 times 3 is 3. And then, I'm done there. And then positive times a positive is a positive. 3 times 5 is 15. Equals, don't forget, 3 times 1 is 3. Let's simplify. So 6 divided by 3 is 2. So negative 2x plus 15 equals 3. And I took x, multiplied it by negative 2, I added 15, and I got 3. Inverse operations going backwards. So instead of plus 15, minus 15. Negative 2x equals negative 12. And then inverse of times negative 2 is divide by negative 2. Divide by negative 2. Because that gives me 1x, which is just x. Negative divided by negative is a positive 6. Oh, that was handy. Same thing as the other one. Now, if you ever get anything like example number 3, negative 6 minus 5 over 4x equals negative 11, I like to just box these terms. And I just like to move them around. So negative 5 over 4x. That looks like a 9. X, and then I'm going to put this one right here. Minus 6 equals negative 11. So if we look at the denominator again, which is 4, we multiply this whole entire side by 4. Now, one shortcut that will work. If you look here, I took the 2 and I multiplied it by half, and after all that I got 1. So the 2's kind of cross out. I ended up with 1. Here, 2 times negative 2/3, I ended up with negative 2. So the 3's kind of just go away and I ended up with negative 2. So if you want, you can multiply it like that. But the 4's are just going to go away. And you're just going to end up with negative 5. You can also just do it in your calculator if you want. You can turn that into decimal and then multiply. And a positive times a negative is a negative. 4 times 6 is 24. Remember not to forget to multiply over here. 4 times negative 11 is negative 44. So we had x. We multiplied it by negative 5, and we subtracted 24, and we got negative 44. Okay, so plus 24 is the inverse, plus 24. Negative 5x equals negative 44 plus 24 plus positive 24 minus 44 gives me negative 20. Inverse operation of times negative 5 is divided by negative 5. And x equals a negative divided by negative is a positive 4. Okay, so let's try. Oh, we haven't had any negatives yet. Let's see if we get one on this last one. So I don't like this. So I'm going to move this side over here and this side over here. So we get negative 3 plus 4 over 5x equals negative 7. Now I don't like this here. I like the x's first. So I want to move this over here. 4 over 5x minus 3 should give me negative 7. Negative 7. Alright, I like that. Okay. So my denominator is 5. I need to multiply both sides by 5. Remember the shortcut. You could do it the long way, but the shortcut is 5 times 4 is 20 divided by 5. 25th is 4. So 5's cross out. End up with 4x. And then 5, positive times negative is a negative. 5 times 3 is 15. And negative times positive is negative. Alright, so x times 4 minus 15 gave me negative 35. Inverse operations. So instead of minus 15, plus 15. Remember to show all this work. And I want to put it over here. 4x equals negative 35 plus 15 is negative 20. And then inverse of times 4 is divide by 4. No, I ended up with a negative this time. X equals negative 5. So negative 5, negative 6, negative 4. My answer was negative 5. Make sure you graph this if it asks you to. If it has it on the work, then make sure to do it. So in order for the equation, oops, did that last time also. Equation to be true, the variable must be negative 5. If the variable is not negative 5, then the equation will be false. So let's try that. I have enough room to write everything out the first time. Negative 3 plus 4 over 5x. So remember, x was negative 5. So this should say negative 7 equals negative 3 plus 4 over 5 times negative 5. Remember, we care about the original, not this one, because I could have messed up here. So I only did this so I could get to my answer easier. So let's make sure that we use this original equation. So PEMDAS as always. So we need to multiply here first. So negative 7 equals negative 3. A positive times a negative is a negative. I would just convert this if I were you. This is 0.8. Using your calculator, times 5 will give you 4. Just 4 because there's no way. Remember, this was x right here. And negative 7 equals negative 3 minus 4 is negative 7. That is it. Thank you.